Telukwa. The one and only.
My name is Shola Rogers. I've been deprived of my drinks. I'm not very happy.
Who deprived you of your
The
drinks?
bartender has not provided drinks for the bar.
I didn't know that we now used to provide drinks for. We don't used to. provide
Guy is
drinks
reaching
ourselves.
out. Please pass that back there if you don't mind, kindly.
I can say triple distilled.
Triple distilled. I will not be deprived. No.
No, you won't, Abby.
I have smoothies.
It's also a drink.
It is
Yeah,
actually.
it is a bar. So good afternoon, everybody. It's looks like it's a very. Oh, sorry, I'm very sorry. And back at the bar,
At the
quite
bar.
frequently.
I've been called to the bar.
You have been called.
So.
So you gave me barista.
Barista.
Oh,
I told you
Barista.
to ask CQ.
I said you should leave Sikiru for me.
Maybe today you have an idea.
Cup, please.
Maybe you have an idea today.
Well, I can take an idea. You take Sikiru. But in case you're wondering what it is, just like Heidi said, we have all been called to the bar now, and the bar is officially open. Now the bar is open. And
oh, because you have a drink,
Yeah.
the bar is open
Yeah.
now. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, one man for himself.
This is marginalization.
Okay, at this point.
If you vote for me, I will make sure that there's
Vote for you.
smoothies for everybody.
Vote for you for what?
For president
Which one?
Where did you get the phone?
of the bar.
Which? Okay, president of the bar.
Who
Okay.
people bought phone for you?
My friends are for you know.
You don't have friends.
You see, politicians are the craziest set of human beings ever in the world. Look, I use crazy loosely. You really expect us to believe every story about how
Yeah, subgroup.
that one is even good that they
And
bought
some-
phone for you.
They
The one that
always buy
pisses,
phone
you know,
for
the
them.
one that irks me, that drives me.
They help you fill the phone.
No, that one is even okay. You know the one that vexes me, that my people are calling me. I have listened to the call of the people.
What
Oh
people?
God, nobody called you.
He didn't call himself.
You call yourself.
Oh my God! It's very
Politicians can lie.
But you also know
Now
that
the people were which
okay,
people?
Okay,
Which
but
people?
For
Show us the call register. Let us see.
I won't say I won't say that it's not possible that people call people. I won't call it call, but I also, at least I've seen a few of these things, that there's some people that mainly because of what they want to get from you, and in the hope that if you get to that position, it would rub off on them as well. It's like some people are just there to give you false hope.
Okay, so show me one successful politician that the people called and he succeeded.
President Buhari, this is president.
They called Buhari. Buhari called himself. Ah,
After how many attempts? He called himself.
no, come back. Yeah. Even President Buhari will not say that they called him. On his own, he kept on contesting and contesting. Who were the people calling him that time?
His people,
Aye.
his own people.
Let us
Well,
be-
you know, President Buhari has his own people. You
Well,
know.
You see, how come his own people didn't make him president all the times that he contested?
They were not ready now, and
Yeah,
when they
it's
officially
not that
called
they're ready.
him, they rose to the occasion.
See, the bottom line here, and we must all agree, is that politicians too, they lie.
Bam.
They lie.
Bam.
Oh, okay. So this very interesting afternoon. There are a few things we're going to be talking about, but those very few things we're going to be unbundling a lot of things from it. Today, this one of the things we're going to be talking about is EFCC's sudden penchant for arresting government officials. In the past 2-3 days, they are verve to arrest a lot of people. I think it's something that definitely needs to be talked about. The one that we talked about was 2 days ago. The accountant general.
80
the
billion.
80 billion naira
80
one.
billion for the account, yo.
It needs to wait. That's okay. By the way, Davido was even talking about 30 billion. Wow,
it's
80
small
billion
money.
is
It's
a lot
80
of money,
billion.
though. You know, 80 billion. Wow, wow. Because at that point, 30 billion, you thought, okay, 30 billion was a lot of money. 80 billion.
It's small money now.
Anyway, there's a lot of updates from him.
Right after that, there was Patricia Ete who was arrested. They're talking about 120 to 240 million contract.
Yeah, it looks like our own is not
It's
still
more
in
money.
the millions.
We don't even want to talk about
NDDC.
contract.
Then
after that,
NDDC,
Sima,
the 47 billion.
Billy.
Looks like we're talking about the billions.
Because
the
like a wise man once said, billion is the new million.
I mean, Nigeria now where is going. So we're definitely going to be talking about that EFCC and a lot of updates from that. Somebody seems to have gotten a suspension letter already. And after that, there is also going to be talks about Okada's motorbikes or bikes basically in Nigeria. There's a lot of story from that. I think this whole thing stems from what happened a few days ago in Lekki in Lagos State with Lagos State's reaction, or the Lagos State governor's reaction yesterday from it. There is some issues happening in Lagos. Then the drama that has happened or is still happening, also talking about Okadas as well in Abuja as well. Looks like there's a lot of drama with Okadas at the moment as well. We're definitely going to be talking about that as well. Also, politics. As of yesterday, there's talks of the people that have been readmitted into the Federal Executive Council, people that they attended valedictory service without knowing that they were attending a valedictory service, and then they did not resign anymore. The ones that resigned, the ones that did not resign. What the Minister of Information has to say about that, what the President has to say with that as well. Then a few other things here and there. Also, somebody moving his constituency from Lagos to Ogun State. You know, they are very close, so you can see that. Anyway, these are a few other things and stuff we're going to be talking about today at the bar. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. So I think we should start from EFCC. And let's start from the matter of the Accountant General that was, for people that do not know, let's do a little bit of breakdown. So I think it was 2 days ago or 3 days ago. 3 days ago, yes, it was Monday night, where the EFCC, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, put out a statement that the current Accountant General had been arrested after he had been invited a few times and he refused to heed their call for some fraud and money laundering amounting to about 80 billion naira. For people that don't hear me well, 80 with 9 zeros at the back again. Just to put it in context. 11 numbers. Yeah. So, there's, of course, there was a lot of conversation about it, that how is the Accountant General himself having issues, this kind of issues and all that. Now, as of yesterday, it was announced that the finance minister had suspended him, which I think it was just the right thing to do, basically. But is it that they can't sack them like immediately?
So
they can't sack them outright.
I think it's very laughable. I think the finance minister thinks this is a joke. You understand?
Why are you suspending?
Let's picture things like misdemeanors and other acts that are suspendable. I'm using it loosely. Someone comes late to work, insubordination and everything. Those are the things that I think you are saying you're going to suspend someone for. Someone has now stolen 80 billion over a period of 4 years, and you're suspending him. Do you think this is a joke? The Accountant General of Nigeria stole 80 billion naira.
But it was alleged. There could actually be a lot of
Alleged or not, is suspension.
No, I think that
because it's alleged.
yeah,
You never know.
I think that because he has not yet been convicted, so that's probably why he was suspended. If you listen to what she said they have to suspend so that investigation and everything can go on smoothly. If you are still in the office working,
You might be able easy to.
We see police on blogs with his boys and also be also interfere with investigation. Now that he's been suspended, meaning that there'll be somebody, because you can't leave that place vacant.
Okay.
There'll be somebody who will take the mantle of leadership and run the functions that he does day to day. Now, so after he must have had his day in court and he gets convicted, then if there's no sack, and I think this clamor or whatever it is that I'm saying can make sense. You understand? So let's wait. My only fear or my only concern is that
would anything come out of it?
Second base with this thing.
Yeah, according to
off your mic case today, what happened? Nothing.
According to a statement, it said that the suspension is in line with the public service rules. Again, I'm not sure you can outrightly sack people.
No, you can. Yes, you can.
Yeah, but the guy has not been
people get fired.
He has not been convicted.
No. Let's quickly correct that. Yes, people get fired.
Yes.
In the public service.
Yes, you can fire. Yeah, but there must
people get fired.
But there must be proof of misconduct.
So let me tell you now. That story.
There must be proof of misconduct.
That angle about not leaving the office vacant and suspending him and all of that. To me, is just playing to the gallery. The guy is already in the gallows. They've arrested him.
Yes.
So he's not even going to come to work. It's not like he's coming to any work.
Yes.
You understand? So you suspend him because on paper you need to put someone there as acting.
And because he has not been proven.
Prosecuted, yes.
That's for a later. The immediate one now is that you suspend him so that someone else can act in his stead. That's why he's been suspended. That's the major reason. I'm saying that the proof is overwhelming. So him not being able to sack him is an excuse, or it's a she now. I think it's a she.
You have to give him
the benefit of it.
Yeah, I think he should have his day in court.
Let him have his day in court in proving that he didn't steal.
Okay, but what if he didn't steal? But what if he didn't steal?
Who tell you?
No, wait.
What if he didn't steal?
Who tell you that one?
What if he didn't steal?
80 billion.
But what if he didn't steal?
At the end of the day,
guilty as charged.
Neither here or there. You understand?
It's guilty,
suspension is okay. Sack is okay. It depends on the leadership. Some other leaders who doesn't have any tolerance for anything that even smells around things like this, immediately will sack you.
Because remember the case of Ibrahim Magu, he was actually suspended as well.
So it depends. It depends on the leadership style.
Yes.
So whichever way it has gone, for me, I don't think there's a problem. The problem will happen if nothing was done. You understand? So some other will say, this is a style. Okay, I'll suspend you. You go and face your crime. If proven guilty, you are gone. Some others don't even have.
They don't want to hear anything.
For these kind of things. Oh boy, you do this thing, you are gone. You understand?
So if you
not get yourself innocent, good luck to you. Go. If you are convicted, you go to jail. But you are not coming back to this office.
So this is my thing, and this is why I'm worried.
And if you look at this leadership side of this administration, it has always been like that. Nobody gets sacked immediately.
And that's my problem. Look, I have a problem with it. Look,
it's getting suspended.
You have about 6 months for them to go.
No, it's not 6 months. It's a whole year.
A whole year.
It's
okay.
A whole year and 10 days. 10 days.
Okay. Because
today is just May 19.
Because from December they already start campaigning.
But it's May.
Slow down.
It's a whole year. 1 year, 10 days. Actually, it's a whole year.
This is my grouse with this style of government. They conducted an inquiry, a public inquiry, into the scam going on at the NDDC. Where are they?
It's not the first now.
There's nothing happening.
That's what I'm telling you.
A forensic audit was ordered. The results of the audit are out. It's been out for over a year. Where is the result? What are we saying? See, all of these things should not be treated like this. It is because they don't act decisively that corruption is growing.
Keep going.
The instant you get that report and you have verified that this report is without any bias, let us see heads rolling. Let heads roll. Let heads roll. Show people, make people an example.
Where are the antecedents?
Start it now.
But it's not their star.
You know, in fairness to,
it's not their star.
In fairness to
it's
the EFCC, I actually went to go through their website and a couple of things yesterday and a few hours ago, and I noticed now that there's a new verve in the EFCC. They're actually getting a lot of convictions.
Yeah, and I think this is my problem with
not just the high-profile arrest now. Yeah. I'm talking about convictions from low crimes. When I say low crimes, I mean crimes that are not billions.
That's what people have been clamoring for.
So now they are doing it. So I'm saying
good now that the big fish, because
that's what we want.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why on the other part you should give them some credit at least.
Yeah, I do. You know the issue.
The minister, I'm not.
You know the issue.
For me,
I have
EFCC kudos.
with
it's
EFCC,
the Minister of Finance suspending
or a lot of all this, maybe the NDLA and all that. They're really good with their arrests. The issue I have with them is that by the time it gets to the judiciary, a lot of these people are released on technicalities, and it's because maybe somebody somewhere did not tender something properly, not because these people are not guilty, but because something was not done properly, something was not submitted as at when due, and all these things. And then you see guilty people actually walk.
So again, I'm going to repeat myself like a broken record. It is when we start to take these things serious, when we start to enact those laws that are already in existence. Again, politicians, you expect them to put themselves in prison. They won't now. The judiciary is slow to act on certain things because that's what the law even allows them to do. We need the lawmakers to come out with newer laws that will tell you that crimes of this certain nature should be handled with a lot of swiftness.
But is to me, yes, I agree with the swiftness. But we also see, like I said, that a lot of times, a lot of this government agencies, this financial agencies and all, they don't do their due diligence. And then people actually work on very, very silly things that could have been avoided.
In that case, you have a few cases that have happened like that. It's not as if that is the order of the day. The scenario you have painted has happened. Yeah. And it shows incompetence on the part of
That's my point. So why, if agencies, you do all that work and then you get to court, which you already know judiciary.
But in recent times, and that's why I say I must say kudos to the EFCC and the NDLEA. In recent times, there's a new verb and there's a new system. I know there was someone that they were prosecuting last year that rather than bring all the charges at once to court, they were bringing it piecemeal. Yeah. That's a way to avoid those technicalities that you have pointed out because they have also learned from their mistakes. So for me, again, boldly, I'll say in public or anywhere, kudos to the EFCC and the NDLEA. Yeah. However, the people who need to help us now, because you cannot use executive fiat to make this law. You need the State House of Assemblies and the Federal House of Assembly to come up with laws that will reflect our current situation. Yeah. Our current situation is that there's a
justice dispensation.
Yes, dispense this quickly. There's prison congestion, and you made a point 2 days ago, Kaide, at the bar. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, the 80 billion guy will come and say his eyes are gone, his liver is paining him, he needs medical attention. But you see, when you arrest them and you expedite action, before you arrest them, you already have your proof. You have a watertight case. Yeah. And that's why you must not arrest until you are sure that this person has committed this crime. But now that you are sure that, you've been tracking him, you have proof, they've tracked his properties.
According as of today properties. Now, there are about 17 properties that have been
Dubai, UK.
Oh,
So that's what I'm saying. For me, if I was Minister of Finance, I am not suspending. Based on this proof alone, Oga,
Minister of Finance,
you will never return to this place.
Minister of Finance briefing and information is what the president has asked her to do.
But also,
you understand?
Can I
So
say
she's speaking for the
something? At
president.
the someone
She
like
is. She is.
for like the accountant general, can she outrightly sack him? She wasn't.
That's
Those
why I said
those
that would go
people
from the
are
president.
actually probably appointed as well
Yeah.
by the president.
So what is the president waiting
and maybe and the National Assembly.
for?
So
Who appointed the EFCC chairman? Is it not the same president?
yeah.
And he says he's fighting corruption, and they are showing you a big fish. Okay, what do they wait for now?
So they now the courts him. Let them try him in court.
What did they wait for?
They go
I
try
said
him
the
now.
trying of court not be the issue. I'm telling you now that what I will continue to
That's
say
what I'm
this
saying
thing.
now. This leadership style.
If you really want to
If you're
show
the president, you will have sacked the guy immediately.
one time,
That's
one time.
Yeah,
That's
and
what-
according
time.
to the
One
EFCC
time.
now, they're saying that while he was in office, is the finance minister is saying he's suspended without pay. So, ain't got
Doesn't
no
it
money.
pay someone that has 80 billion? The 80 billion that they cut is the one that they sold.
Yeah,
It's
it's
one
what
that they
they
sold. Do you know how
saw
much-
actually.
Do you know how much he has in
What
other
did I
places?
get out of Lagos in 1 year?
Ah, 80
Anyway,
billion. A whole country.
they're saying that as someone as the office that he never declared his property before the Code of Conduct Bureau.
Is that not a red flag?
He never.
Who has
did.
failed in that aspect? Someone has failed to do their job in that
The
aspect.
Code of Conduct
Yeah.
Bureau.
Yeah.
Not just the Code of Conduct
Those
Bureau.
people actually,
Even the Ministry of Finance themselves.
yeah,
Because
you
there's a form.
should submit it to the ministry that you're
There's
under.
a form that he should have filled.
Filled once he yes.
And you let him stay there for almost 5 years. Meanwhile, I repeat, this man was brought in to replace someone that was alleged to have stolen 2.5 billion. 2.5 billion. Now, we're saying allegedly he has stolen 80 billion. He never declared his assets and he was there.
Yeah. So
And we're serious about fighting corruption.
so about 17 houses in London, Lagos, Kano,
Oshe,
Abuja,
Ajala
and
travel.
Dubai,
Mm.
and have been traced to this particular person through proxies.
Yeah, no, nice.
Anyway, another person that the EFCC has arrested, or they've announced that they've arrested, is the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Patricia Ete, over allegation of fraud involving the Niger Delta Development Commission again. She was arrested on Tuesday in Abuja for questioning. And her own is not even so much. I think her own is about 240 million.
Yeah.
naira.
Yeah.
It's just even, it's not. 240 million is some money, but.
100,000.
Yeah, that's the new 1,000. Million is the new 1,000.
So,
You see, let's talk briefly about Patricia Ete.
I was going to say before you go that
Go ahead,
this
go
was
ahead.
this particular person that literally resigned. I think she's the very first female House of Representatives, and everybody was going on about, okay, this was nice and everything, yeah. And just a few months after, she had to resign because there were allegations of financial misappropriation.
Okay, so I know we've moved on from the 80 billion alleged thief, but you know, one of the things that made me go on and on about that guy is, even if he is not guilty, ask yourself one question: do you want this kind of person back working for you as your attorney general?
No.
Accountant general. Do you understand what I'm
But
saying?
if he's not guilty, why not?
You
It's
see,
already tainted.
it's tainted. That's what I'm saying. So that's the only point I
But
wanted
maybe
to
it
make.
was just some people somewhere just wanted to.
Ask yourself
It's
again.
tainted.
Look, it's difficult.
But
Even
if he was found not guilty of all these allegations, then he's not
If
his
So-
fault.
If you're in that kind of office, you shouldn't have something.
you
like
shouldn't.
this should not even
You
come
shouldn't.
around.
There should be no allegations.
Yeah, so it's tainted.
The truth is, it will be difficult for me to trust you again,
Yeah,
even if you
tainted.
come out clean. I'll be like, okay, but you've already gone to that level of indictment, so yes, you came out unscathed, kind of. So this is why I kept on going on about him. Now back to the former Speaker Patricia Ete and all of that. I wonder how people do these things. For me, as an individual, if I get a chance to get a contract from NDDC, I will take it. but I will execute it. What I'm saying is, at 240 million, there is a markup. There is definitely a markup. So, the truth is, if you do the job well, won't they give you another one? At least, somehow, you got a 240 million naira job.
40 million naira job, yeah.
But we have the culture of taking contracts that we have no intention of carrying out in any form. All they need is your company name. Once you have a company name, and in some instances, they just use a bogus company name and issue a check or give you cash. Some of these contracts were given, and they were giving cash. So, I just feel that if only she had carried out this contract, the only thing they will be talking about is maybe it was overpriced, but that's not our problem.
At least
that would not be our problem. That would be due diligence that was not carried out by the people who issued the...
But at least the contract, which the honest truth is that if this
and there are several
contract was done
out there,
I'm sure that conversation wouldn't even come up.
I was going to go there that this is just very unfortunate, right? But one thing that you guys have forgotten, remember, go back to the issue of the off-your mic. What was it about?
Exactly.
It was about NDDC.
Yeah.
What did Akpabio say?
That some of the committee members...
You people are not collecting the contract.
Yes. There was a particular person...
Madam, it was a woman that was saying, Madam, you don't know, your colleagues. So, it's the norm. You understand? It's the norm.
The norm.
It's just, maybe this woman has fallen out of favor. You know, so maybe that's why these are cases.
These are come up now.
Because if we have opened that mic that they closed properly, that mic that they switched off, put that mic on, maybe you have
a lot of things might have
like this.
Yeah. Okay, so again, guys, let's not just
you understand.
Talk off point. I like what you said, and it brought me back to a realization. I was referring to the forensic audit earlier. Maybe this is the result.
Maybe a part of
because if you notice now, there's a trend. It's majorly NDDC, MDs, and contractors.
I have an
Don't
issue
forget that
with
at one point, I can't remember. At one point, there was a time, I don't know who was accused then, but it was not official. Speculation that maybe it was Babio. Yeah, it was just immediately after off your mic. I remember the president made a statement that everybody who has stolen will not go unpunished before he leaves his office.
So maybe that's
before he leaves office.
Maybe that's what President Buhari is doing now.
He's doing now. He said before he leaves office, he will make sure that everybody who has stolen is prosecuted. So maybe this is
a fallout of
maybe they're investigating that. Now they have enough evidence now start bringing maybe. So if that is the case, brace up, fasten your seatbelt because
there's a lot more.
Because
past this week now we'll be seeing every almost.
So obviously maybe this 1 year is what he has used as my parting shot
for everybody.
Before I leave.
Again.
So obviously maybe they have enough evidences against people who have been alleged.
They must have gone to double check the results of the
forensic audit
and backed it up with proof.
Yeah.
And that's why they are picking this.
And it's sad for me because especially with the NDDC, the whole commission was set up for a particular reason. And it is sadder because it is the people of the Niger Delta that are in charge of the NDDC. And they're the ones, because if it was maybe a northerner or maybe a southwesterner that has been in charge of the NDDC, then we'll say, okay, they're the ones that, but you're the ones, these people literally grew up in that rot. Yeah. They've been seeing the pain of their people. And then they are still the same ones doing the same things that is, because I honestly don't get it. It's one of the interesting parts of Nigeria and Nigerians, the NDDC. I just don't get it.
There is no such vehicle for other geopolitical regions, and it's largely due to the fact that the South region is Nigeria's cash cow, or was Nigeria's, still is anyway.
Still is.
And that's where, after all this, they give them a vehicle that they could have used well. Now, the people of the Niger Delta majorly are still innocent. It's the leaders, leaders, the elite from the Niger Delta who have gotten into the NDDC. It's one person after the other. They brought in someone as acting. A few months after, they had to remove him because of allegations of fraud.
It's a very sad one.
It's just getting worse by the minute. It's getting worse
because that happened on Tuesday, and then yesterday again, the EFCC had also announced the arrest of a former MD of the NDDC, Nsima Ekere.
So there's a pattern.
Yes, I agree with you. I think that there's
that's why I mentioned it earlier.
There's obviously a pattern.
So in another, within the next 1 week,
expect.
Obviously, maybe they've now done their research properly. They now have all the evidences.
Major evidence.
Starts going after them.
After them, and this one is to the tune of 47 billion naira.
So we have about 130 billion now. About 130 billion.
No, sorry, excuse me. About what?
About 130.
40? No, 127.
Yeah, about 130.
3 billion is a lot of money. 3 billion.
About 130.
No, 127.
No, about 130. That you're approximating this scenario.
That will approximate 3 billion.
Very soon we'll buy
3 billion.
We'll buy the whole West Africa.
Yes, now
at this point,
we can buy 4 or 5 countries and add it to Nigeria with this kind of money.
Because
and you know, take a look at the Niger Delta. Look at how people are still struggling. Look at infrastructural development that they claim that they put in place. It's not good enough.
This is very interesting, because this particular person who was the MD between 2016 and 2018, lost the People's Democratic Party gubernatorial primary elections in 2015. So he wanted to be governor. Also went again in 2019. But he was actually the APC candidate in Akwa Ibom for the 2019 elections. So imagine this kind of person had won the elections as governor.
But that's what they all do.
But at this point, he would even have immunity. So there's nothing the EFCC will do.
That's what so after all of this, they look for government position to go and cool off so that they are a bit protected. It's like they go to National Assembly, they contest to become governors or whatever. That's what they do.
It's
standard practice.
So according to the reports that EFCC say, yes, it's actually true that the arrest is linked to the forensic audit ordered by the president.
Okay, so that's what we were saying.
Yeah, and this audit is between 2001 and 2019. So
because I remember then after that, off your mic, the president said it.
Yeah, that's
everybody is going to, before he leaves the office, anybody who must have stolen, pay. That was he said they will pay for it.
But I think they should have built a prison or 2 by now. Brand new.
Right. No, there's one in
Osun State.
Is it about the prison?
No, they just need to make a statement.
So what has happened to the one who have gone to prison and they pardoned? Somebody also another must have stolen goods. The person has not been pardoned. Somebody who has stolen millions of naira.
And you know, when that story broke, I know that everybody was going on with President Buhari, and
the same happened during Jonathan when Alamisi was pardoned.
And we know that it's not about the president; it's about the Council of State. Yeah, it's basically all of them. And you're wondering, okay, so what conversations do the president and the former presidents, what do they have? What conversations do they have? Is it that the Council of State is basically just to pardon their friends? Really? Because they do it a lot. Like I said, they did it during...
the people that actually need the pardon, they don't even look at the side. There's a lot of people in prison who are there maybe for crime that they did not even commit, or a crime as much as stealing a goat.
And then you wonder, like, these conversations, should these people's names even be on the list of people to be pardoned at all?
So at the end of the day, it just made nonsense of the whole
anti-corruption.
Because you can imagine if maybe you're maybe an EFCC chairman or what's it called, and then you did a lot of work, a lot of evidence. You gathered a lot of evidence to put someone like this in jail, and then a year or 2 down the line, he's set free. So what's the point of all the work?
Even the costs.
Yeah, all the cost of
getting lawyer,
taxpayers' money. So everything just down the drain. So really,
to hire a son to defend you, you know how much. So you
so
know how much government
does it make sense if you, as the government, spends money to prosecute people and then now go ahead to now release them?
One of the things that we need to understand about the prerogative of mercy and these pardons that they get is that the regular guys don't need it. You know why?
Why?
They are not going to contest for any election. They are not going to be appointed into any.
They don't have any structure.
They don't. But you see these other guys, they are going to bring them back into the fold. So once they are pardoned and they now appoint one of them as ambassador to Timbuktu or wherever, you can't say anything now because he's been pardoned. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But if he still has his criminal record dangling over his head, then people can go to court to say, no. This person was charged to court and he was, convicted and all of that. So the regular guy won't get it because it's bringing nothing to the table. But the political elite will always get it because they will still come and to contribute money for funds, for election fund, for your elections. They will still want to get appointed, and they still have other things that they're going to do for themselves, back and forth. So it shows that justice is to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
That's what it shows.
It's very interesting. So according to, I think I'm going to take you back a little bit to the Accountant General story. So because according to a report that I just saw now, they said that how this whole matter started was when last year there were allegations where he offered huge sums of money to a particular family in order to secure the marriage of their 16-year-old daughter. So the uncle of the teenager said that he was then reported to the federal government after he told the young lady to go to Abuja and choose any house she wanted and he will buy it for her.
A 16-year-old.
A 16-year-old. Isn't that even like against the law? Isn't that against the law in the first place?
16-year-old.
That's why they are offering a lot of money so that you keep quiet.
Yeah.
Also, they said that in 2021, he had launched a Gezawa Commodity Market and Exchange Limited, where he had openly admitted that he owned. And this is someone that is supposed to be a public servant.
You see, again, there's a conversation we're not having, and I'm going to talk about it for a few seconds. We all know that public servants are not supposed to own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they're not even allowed to speak to the press. Public servants do not have a face or a voice. They're supposed to go through their line managers and all of that. And they're not supposed to be partisan. But can anybody boldly state at local government, state and federal level that all these public servants are not biased, they don't belong to parties, and they don't own businesses? You go around, there was a time, some hotel in Ikorodu, that people pointed out and said, oh, this guy works with the government. I'm like, is he the president? Because even at presidential level, his salary, if the president keeps his salary for 4 years, he can't build those
kind of things. Yeah,
he can't.
It's
so there's a lot of corruption in the public service.
Yeah,
that nobody is doing anything. And
I think it's because there's a lot of money in the public service.
A lot.
So you won't quickly notice, because I don't think a lot of these things can happen. In one company, 80 billion is taken out. Another one, 47 billion. I don't think, no matter how large the company is, that kind of company will not run down.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money
and
going around.
Very, very few checks. A lot of the things that have been put in place were put in place by these people. Mm-hmm. So they know the way around it. They know how to
work it. I agree. They know how to work it. So let's move on from that and move on to the issue of bikes, or popularly called Okadas in Nigeria.
Again.
And I will take the story from Lagos State, where 2-3 days ago there was no, it was over the weekend.
Yeah.
There was the issue of how a guy was maimed and burnt over 100 naira in Lekki Phase 1. Makes no absolute sense. Like, I honestly don't get the point of whatever it is that they were trying to do, or what is it that they achieved. Anyway, over the since then, the police had been on a rampage. The day after, I think on Monday, the police had come out to say that they had seized about 120 bikes in Lekki. As of today, they said they seized over 200 around Ojo, part of Lagos State. And all, and you know, there was a lot of backlash from law enforcement. Now, yesterday, there was a statement that came out. It was even basically a press briefing from the governor himself. We also saw the video where he had banned, there was a total ban. We know that in Lagos State, there's a ban on bikes on major roads, on I think Trunk A and Trunk B roads.
Yes.
In Lagos State.
Yes.
Now, there is a total ban of bikes generally in 6 different local governments, Surulere local government, Etiosa local government, in Ikeja. There are about 6 of them that there's a total ban as of what the governor had said yesterday, and that he was giving them up until the 1st of June to clear out from those places. And according to the statement that he said, he had said that this is part of an ongoing, so it looks like there's going to be a complete ban, but it looks like they're doing it in phases. Then today we hear of a major clash between the police and bike riders, where they actually blocked the road around Ojo Cantonment in Lagos State. And then you're wondering, I thought the governor said he gave them till June 1. What's happening? Or is it a process? Because police had now said that the task force had seized about over 200 bikes today alone in that area.
Well, 2 things. In trying to look at the governor's recent ban and the existing ban, whatever happened today is covered under the existing ban on Okada operations on major roads.
Sorry, 1 second. Oh wow, we actually have a few comments. So Uzoanya Kenneth says, spot on, suspension or not, the final outcome is what we should focus on. We can't continue like this. He also said maybe we should learn from some Asian countries who have zero tolerance for corruption.
Yeah. I know that country in particular. There's a particular country. Yeah, and again, I'm sure the comments are, explicit.
Yeah.
You read them. And thanks for the comment, Kenneth. OB1. So, again, in clamping down on the bikemen, initially I was like, why would they do that? I said, okay, well, the existing law covers clamping down on bikemen on major roads.
Yeah.
Trunk A and B. So
okay.
I think maybe that's what the police have done.
Maybe you shouldn't even have been there in the first place. Okay.
2, there's a notice now. They put them on notice. 1st of June, total ban from operations within 6 local governments. I am happy and not so happy with that. There are 20 local governments in Lagos. And when we talk about the 57 LCDAs or whatever, there are 20 local governments in Lagos. Why pick 6 local governments for banning?
Exactly, because it just looks like some people are just going to move to some other area.
All you are doing is saying, don't come to this place, you can go to that place.
They're just literally just going
That's
to
what
move.
the governor said. He should have a total ban. Look, let me first state that I support a complete and total ban on Okada operations, as in total
Some states
ban.
don't have it. Heaven did not fall.
So, dear Mr. Governor, your intentions are good, but this plan is faulty. You're only putting pressure on
other
the
places.
14 other local governments.
I agree.
Because if the Okada guys have top people in their union, they will say they don't want you in these 6 local governments. Move to the other 14 now. That's it. But
even establishing boundaries in Lagos.
yeah,
the local governments are almost,
they're interwoven.
Yes.
The lines are blurred.
Exactly.
We don't see any fence that tells us you have left Koshofe and you have entered Ajangbadi.
But for me, there's a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
You understand? You know this, and days ahead, I think you just brace up, because what you're seeing now is prepping for what will happen from 1st of June. You understand? You know, these guys are going to resist. You understand?
Oh yeah, they're already resisting.
They're going to resist, and when I say resistance, it's not going to be memory. You understand? So I said confusion because you have broken it down. 6 here, from A, from B, you know. So there's another angle that you guys are not looking at, which I'm looking at also, is that, so look at it from the point of the police. Would they have the will to enforce this thing in total? When I say in total, like the governor said,
holistic approach, no,
continuously.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, some of these Okada are owned by policemen, aside also soldiers,
public servants.
You understand those things? So you understand. So will I also want to cripple my own side also somehow? They've given an order, maybe I'll carry it by 1 or 2 or 3 days, you know. And even if Okada people are going to test the law.
So
if I see 1, 2, 3 people come on, nobody has stopped them. From 5 to 6 to 7 before you know 100. You understand? So the thing is that the will must be there to enforce. That's just it for me. Whether it's 5 or 6 or 7, there's commission, but the will to enforce. You understand? But like I was telling you earlier, I also think there's another part to it. You know, I don't know how they went about it in terms of engaging all the stakeholders involved. Beyond the riders, even the bikes, if they stop selling Okada in Lagos, it's banned. So why are you selling it?
Why are you selling it? It's not in the market.
So you cannot get it to buy in Lagos. And if you want to come to Lagos, there's only 1 or 2 ways. You understand? You have like those guys who check for animals. You know, so you have a post there that you see. Oh, you cannot bring Okada to it. So that alone, because once they seize today, these guys within 1 week or 1 month, they get another one. They're back on the road. So if you cut the supply, like I always say, you cut the supply while you're trying to enforce. It may be easy. So as you seize them,
what is left?
Nowhere to get. So you have to go to another state to go and buy and start riding there. So everything has to be total for me. You understand? So, but if you see today, these guys have money now. There are people who are financing them. Before you know it, will be another one. But if there's nobody selling the bike, because if they ban it in Lagos, that means you have no business. You understand? So go and look, maybe go and buy bigger bikes for people who are doing dispatch and delivery. You understand? You won't buy. So they need to look at that area too. You understand? So you also need to cut the supply.
Yeah, like the commissioner of police was explaining on TV this morning. I think it was on Channel TV or something. That the total ban does not affect dispatch riders, or even owner riders,
or
people who are not commercializing the usage of their bikes. And like the confusion you talked about in the area of dispatch, we already know he's carrying a big box or something. But I remember that when Governor Fashola had done this, there was a certain engine capacity,
which those regular dispatch riders use the regular bikes.
You see,
they had to raise the standard so that it is easier to clamp down.
This is even so sad. There were guys who were in this business professionally.
Yes,
the
ride-hailing services.
You
literally crippled that.
You kick them out.
Those guys should have been there now.
Those are probably the ones to use to take out this one.
All these small, but everything you're saying blue rail, it doesn't get to everywhere in Lagos.
No,
it's so limited where you go. So, but if these guys they had invested in this business, registered, professional, everything proper,
and you regulate,
if you are regulated, allow them to flourish, it will be easy for
to
you now.
Take out
it will be easy.
Very strong point that you make, Kaide, because when you stopped Okada and the rest of them from operating, we thought Okada had stopped completely. A few months after, it's the crazy ones that are out there. 90% of the bike men out there are crazy.
Kill their business.
You know? So the regulated one was kicked out. And those ones, they were training their riders. They had safety gears and all of that. These particular ones, they don't even care. They've never heard of an helmet. They don't know where they are going. You see people fight Okada men a lot these days because there's dispute on how much they're going to pay.
Yeah.
There's dispute on the pickup and drop off points, all of that, which is where the government failed, because kicking those guys out was supposed to be complete. So how do you kick out a regulated ride-hailing service and allow a free-for-all? And it's the free-for-all that we're suffering from now.
We have issues where
because if it was a guy that was working for a ride-hailing service that had an 100 naira issue, he knows that they would track him to the office.
Exactly. You will not.
He won't misbehave.
He
knows that there's an app and you can report him on the app.
Yeah.
But these particular guys, they don't care.
That's why I said that they've made a lot of mistakes.
A lot.
You understand? This thing, they allowed it to fester for so long. If those guys were there, regulated, you understand? You could track them.
Yeah.
They're professional, properly trained, all of these hazards that we're talking about, these bikes, because actually it has become part of our lives in Lagos, you understand? It has become part of the way we live, you understand? So, but if the guys who are supposed to do it properly, take away all of this risk, all of this safety, all of security to talk about, if you have allowed them to flourish, it would have been easy. Now everybody will say, it would have been easy for you
to just take out
because
this one.
People will now be using those ones, and so now you have the dilemma of chasing the Okada, you have the dilemma of the citizen who use it,
and then you have to find how to get replacements for how people move around.
The wala is too much. That's why I said there's too much confusion. I just hope that we'll be able to enforce it and get through it. But me personally, I'm not optimistic anything will happen.
Yeah.
Okay, still talking about bikes. We're moving from Lagos and we're going to Abuja, where
Same thing.
4 people, according to the Commissioner of Police in Abuja, 4 people have died. Minimum, at least 4 people have died over some dispute in the market.
Yeah.
Now, there are conflicting stories.
Different stories.
There are different stories here and there. But the bottom line is, it is major fights between bike men and traders at Day Market, where shops have been burnt, people's vehicles have been damaged. They're saying about 1 billion naira worth of goods has been damaged, and the minister of EFCC has shut down the market indefinitely.
Yeah.
And you're wondering, isn't this whole bike system a menace in the first place?
Look, we are.
Menace to society.
We have not been sincere, and when I say we, I mean the people that have been ruling or governing. We have not been sincere about creating solutions to our problems.
Yeah.
We know that the bike transportation, like Kyle said, is something we have grown accustomed to. But we know the solutions to that thing, and nobody has done it. Mass transportation. But we make it seem like rocket science. There is no system that is built around this kind of uncertainty that will not fail. The bike riders, most of them, they don't have any form of training. I'm not saying all, most of them. I remember when my friend got a Megad who had just come into Lagos barely 2 weeks. And barely 2 weeks to him starting to work at my friend's place. He would go missing from time to time until they came to tell them that he had an accident, and he gave them the address that's where he lives. And they had to take him to the hospital. Can't speak English to save his life. And what was he doing? He would leave his duty post to go and ride bike that he was just learning. And while he's learning, he's already picking passengers. And in driving buses, we also know that, of course, some of the bus drivers didn't go to driving school. But a lot of them will at least learn how to drive and all of that safely, you get, to a large extent. But bike people think that it's easy because it's just 2 wheels and all you need to do is start it and you're good to go.
Off.
This has led to a lot of problems, even for bike riders. At the orthopedic hospital, if you pay a visit to the section of the hospital dedicated to injuries. And you hear their stories.
It's very interesting because just now another story came up. This is all the way from Oshogbo, where there's a protest going on today again, and this involved an Okada rider, a minibus, and a tipper. And the story is that the Okada person on the Okada died, and then the people, his colleagues, now started going off on people.
But that's what they always do. It's a system that the Okada riders have perfected.
Yeah.
And it's not like you see now Oshogbo. It happened in Lagos.
Yeah.
It happened in Abuja yesterday. And that is what you get.
Yeah.
That is what you get. You understand? That's what you get.
Akwa Ibom, Enugu,
Rivers.
Rivers.
Yes.
Kaduna, all those places, there are no bikes.
No bikes.
You understand?
And nothing happened, really.
You see, there's another part that you guys don't see, or you guys don't always consider in all of this, even on the economics of this, how these guys have become a big menace to the society.
Yeah.
Now, you can hardly get workmen again. People are no longer working.
Yeah.
Everybody's riding bikes. People are no longer working. True. All the guys who have gone to do apprenticeship somewhere, they've all down their trade because Okada
you get first money.
You understand? So you are at the site, you can't get electrician, you can't get bricklayer,
labor.
You can't get labor. Everybody's riding bikes. So it's killing even the economy in a way. Now, the girls don't want to do anything because these guys have 2-3 girlfriends. At the end of the day, when they close, they go to beer parlor, buy this, and they give them 2,000. You understand every day? So even the girls don't want to do anything. You understand? So even another part, there's a lot of damage that this Okada is doing to us.
To the whole system.
You understand? So the popular one is accident because you see that. But if you look at the economic side, because it's quick money.
The security side.
Everybody, you can hardly get a young guy who wants to do anything.
Yeah.
You can hardly get barbers again, babbing. You can hardly get somebody to work for you in your shop. You can hardly get people, sales girls, but no, everybody wants to ride bike.
True.
Because it's fast money, you understand?
It's true.
So, in fact, the destruction that they are doing, you can't quantify it.
Is way much
more. And like you said, any small thing, they are so lawless, they are so rude, they are, anything like this, they gather you before you know it, they damage your car, they destroy things, they just feel that they are just above the law. They can do anything and get away with it. So, we allow you to fester for too long, honestly.
Yes.
But for me, some
it
states don't have it.
Now.
If you stop it,
we need to stop
like
it.
we said, everyone
everybody would.
We need to
sit
stop
up.
it.
Yeah,
everyone
I agree.
All those states too that it was the same. They stopped them. They moved on with their life.
Who would have thought that a place like Port Harcourt they're going to stop?
Yeah,
and it worked.
And it worked. It definitely
Kaduna.
Worked.
Enugu.
Yeah.
Almost all the south is very few people here use probably seen only in there.
And you know one of the reasons why they went ahead to ban these bikes in those states is majorly because of security.
Yes.
So are you saying that the security of Lagos and Abuja is not important?
Wonderful.
What is bandits using when they come in?
It's bikes.
To destroy villages.
It's bikes.
It's bikes. Wow, our time is fast spent. I was going to talk about the senator that
you can quickly say it now. There's 1 minute.
So there's senator now the Ogun State APC is having issues with the Lagos State senator that wants to contest for a senatorial seat in Ogun State.
Well, I'm not going to say the Ogun State. I'm going to say a group of people in Ogun State because it is the same Ogun State people that bought a form for him. There's a video to that effect. So because of time, we'll probably take a look at it tomorrow. But the idea is to find out if it is something that the law
frowns upon or not. A lot of people have done it, so we'll definitely I will check, see whether it's really against the law or not, or if he really can just go ahead with it. And on that note, that's all we're able to take today on the Boom Bar. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for the comments. We'll definitely be back again tomorrow for the Friday edition, the TGIF edition of The Bar on boomradio.com.ng. Have a beautiful day ahead.